This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the turnout is strong for children aged between 5 and 11 who can now receive their COVID jabs. Dunedin's Coast Guard has a new boat thanks to some major backers and a significant sporting event. And families are trying to contact their loved ones in Tonga after the weekend's massive volcanic eruption. Tēnā koutou katoa, kia ora, I'm Simon Anderson. Today is the first day children aged between 5 and 11 years old can receive their COVID-19 vaccine. Not every location is able to offer the child's doses yet, but those running the rollout in the south say parents are having real conversations with their children about being vaccinated.
The moment of truth and a well-deserved cuddle from mum, followed by a high five from the lady doing the injecting. 6-year-old Emma O'Brien is among the first children between 5 and 11 years old to receive the child's dose of a COVID-19 vaccine in Dunedin. Sharing their child's vaccine story, Signe Stanbridge and her husband are both health professionals who say they discussed being vaccinated with their daughter.
So we feel comfortable with the knowledge and the information that we have to make an informed choice for Emma, and we talk to Emma about getting vaccinated to protect herself but also protect the vulnerable people in our lives and in our communities.
Emma was happy to be one of the first and plans to celebrate with a friend later in the week.
So we're probably just going to go over to her house on Thursday and I'll give her the present, and then we might have a cake or something, and probably.
A cake?
Yeah, probably. If you think to bake one.
Ah.
At 10 micrograms per shot, the child's mRNA vaccine is a third of the adult strength dose. The clinical coordinator at the COVID vaccination centre in Dunedin's Meridian Mall says New Zealand waited longer than some other countries to make sure the child's vaccine would be safe for tamariki.
We waited to hear good data. We wanted to know our children would be safe having the vaccine, and that's what we've waited for, and that's what we've got. Pfizer's developed a good vaccine, and New Zealand's ready for our children to be protected.
Rather than needing to book in their child's vaccination, parents and caregivers are now able to walk into centres with their children. Barr says some of the youngsters are apprehensive, but understand exactly why they are there. In Dunedin, The South Today.
The government has held off on making any immediate alterations to the traffic light system. Jacinda Ardern was expected to review the government's COVID-19 traffic light settings. However, the Prime Minister said they're seeking advice from Ministry of Health officials on the country's traffic light settings, but won't make any decisions now until Cabinet meets next Tuesday. Currently, all of Aotearoa New Zealand except Northland is at the orange setting, with Northland being at red. The decision whether to change the alert levels is generally made following a Cabinet meeting. Coast Guard Dunedin has welcomed a new addition to its fleet, with the former America's Cup chase boat making a 5-day journey south from Wellington. The new addition to the Southern Coast Guard fleet is bigger and more powerful, helping improve the local response.
Showing its speed on Otago Harbour, the 12.5 metre Moana rescue boat is bigger, better and more powerful than its predecessor, and has come a long way from the original reason it was built.
It's a boat that they built for the America's Cup last year, all funded by Lotto, and it was built for New Zealand Coast Guard specifications.
Coast Guard Dunedin President John Campbell was one of 2 skippers who brought the A36 Protector boat down, and says the new vessel represents a step up for Dunedin's Coast Guard.
It's quite a bit larger, both in beam and in length, which is really, it makes it more user-friendly out at the open sea.
The upgraded vessel is fully equipped with new features, including an infrared camera for thermal imaging. Coast Guard Dunedin currently operates from the south of Tidy Mouth to Shag Point. The new vessel could help the team to respond to rescues as far north as the Waitaki River mouth.
The speed it can go, it's got a larger range, it can virtually go 300 nautical miles, so the range is incredible.
Moana Rescue is one of 26 new Coast Guard vessels from a partnership between Coast Guard, Lotto New Zealand and Emirates Team New Zealand. They were built using a $9.6 million lottery grant for use at the 36th America's Cup as support vessels and chase boats. Coast Guard New Zealand has spent $35,000 refitting its new boat, ready for rescue work in the local community. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Dunedin police have arrested the driver of a car who fled the scene of an accident in the Octagon on Saturday afternoon. Police say two cars collided in the upper Octagon at about 4 p.m. and the driver of one of the vehicles drove off. She was apprehended a short time later after again crashing her vehicle, this time into the main entrance of the Dunedin Town Hall in Moray Place. Police say no one was injured, but they are making inquiries with the other driver and witnesses. Communication to the islands of Tonga has been almost completely cut off after the massive volcanic eruptions over the weekend. The undersea volcano triggered a tsunami which travelled as far afield as Alaska, Japan and South America. In Dunedin, Tongan Methodist Church leader Salesa Pole says Tongans around New Zealand have no idea whether their families back home are safe.
The concern that we have is any loss of lives, yes, but we haven't heard anything.
Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says the undersea network cable had been affected and authorities are urgently trying to restore communications. Power is largely restored in Tonga's capital and a New Zealand Defence Force plane has left for Tonga to help assess the damage. Ardern says the initial need for clean water and water storage bladders as well as food and medical supplies. The government has pledged $500,000 in support as a starting point. Volcanologists believe it's unlikely more eruptions on a similar scale will occur. E whaiakine still to come on the South Today. Some Central Lakes locals try to outrun a train, and could lizards replace dogs as man's best friend? See why we're asking that question after the break.
Inside are all sorts of innovations from all over China.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Spark your joy with Jazz, the next generation from Honda.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need, from answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today.
Oh there, guess who? You recognise the eyes? Oh okay, it's a haircut. Anyway, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores are carrying on as usual. Despite what's happening in the world, we have got some great stock for you. Personally, I've spent 50 years in this business and we have some excellent supplier relationships. We've got great stock, it's hand-picked, it's here, it's on time, and it's ready for the great summer.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So, as my favourite cut says, keep calm and carry on.
Nā mai nō, welcome back. Runners were put through their paces over the weekend in a race against the famous Kingston Flyer train. It's been 8 years since the Kingston last hosted Race the Train event, with plenty of locals turning out to test their mettle.
Arriving into Kingston for the first time in 8 years, the Kingston Flyer was back chugging along the line between Kingston and Fairlight over the weekend, with local runners keeping pace alongside. Kingston's Race the Train event was last held in 2013 and sees competitors trying to outrun the vintage steam locomotive.
It was great. I mean, it would be nice to have had a few more from travelling further afield, but you know, the world we're living in at the moment, it kind of like counts for that as such. But you know, it's great. You know, we did have people, you know, travel a reasonable distance to come today to be part of the event. So, hey, you know what? It's been great. We've had a good turnout, and yeah, it can only be a big plus for next year.
About a quarter of the competitors managed to get their head down and get their weary legs across the finish line before the train arrived.
Yeah, it was quite a hard case, yeah, but awesome event, and yeah, it was good to see it coming in and everyone finishing across the line.
The majority of runners were unable to beat the steam train, but still enjoyed the day despite the challenge.
I felt as if the whole thing was uphill, apart from the last little bit, and the headwind was terrible. But yeah, it was good fun though.
The successful turnout for the refreshed event means the unique race is expected to be back on the calendar for next year. In Kingston, the South today.
Sharp claws and a long blue tongue aren't the usual attributes pet owners are looking for. But plenty of Dunedinites flocked to the first ever Reptile and Aquatic Expo this weekend to see if the scaly creatures were for them.
7-year-old James Purvis getting attached to his new friend Waibi. Purvis was among the crowd who attended Dunedin's first Reptile and Aquatic Expo to learn about the cold-blooded creatures. The expo was held in Forrester Park with organiser Amelia Seals keen to showcase why the animals make good pets.
I actually rescue axolotls and reptiles, and I just want people to know more about their care, and yeah, it's just really rare for people to know more about reptiles and stuff, so just wanted people to engage and yeah, learn about them.
While the animals can be rewarding as pets, Seals admits people should carefully consider the commitment it takes to own one. Reptiles and amphibians often live for decades, and turtles are even likely to outlive their owner.
We need to have some thought before purchasing any of these animals, and have a setup ready and make sure that you actually want to commit to them.
Genuinely a pet for life. And the success of the first expo has encouraged organisers to look at making it an annual event. In Dunedin, the South today.
A person has died following a crash on State Highway 6 this morning. Police confirm a vehicle crashed just south of Wanaka Airport in the early hours. The person was travelling in a white van towards Luggett from Wanaka when they left the road. A detour was put in place along State Highway 6 with the road reopening around midday. After the break on the South today, more racing of the more conventional kind now. We have cycling results from Christchurch as well as Tiano's Kepler Challenge. Hea koko aki nei.
Living Well Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hi, I'm Eden Carson from the Otago Sparks and we'd love to see all your support down here at the Uni Oval this summer.
Hey, what have you got? Okay. Chicks World, party time, excellent. Love it. Chicks World. Chicks World.
Hoki mai anō. Timaru cyclist Shane Archibald timed his sprint finish to perfection to win the Criterium National Championships in Christchurch yesterday. The World Tour cyclist saved his run until 3 laps out, outsprinting a mountain biker and in-form rival for the victory.
Timaru cyclist Shane Archibald raises his arms in triumph as he outsprints around 40 of New Zealand's best male riders to win the National Criterium Championship title. He says the circuit was fast and there was a lot of jostling for position. He thanked the crowd for their support.
Can't beat it, the crowd, atmosphere, you can smell the beer, can't get that in road racing.
Waikato rider Ali Wollaston used her renowned sprint kick in the home straight to score a photo finish victory and win her second title in the women's A-grade competition. Competitors raced in bright sunshine around a 1.1 kilometre rectangular circuit, chasing 6 national titles up for grabs in junior and senior titles. Cycling New Zealand events manager Jeanette Douglas says the races were hotly contested.
National Champs jersey for anyone is really coveted, and so it certainly brings people from all across the country into Christchurch.
She says Cycling New Zealand has been working with the City Council to find ways to attract more people into the central city.
Certainly after the earthquakes and that redevelopment, one of their objectives was to bring people back into the city. So an event like this suited what they wanted to do, suited what we wanted to do.
Archbold just had one thing on his mind after the win.
Just one more thing. I happened to drop a drink bottle out there, and I might be in the World Tour, but I'm running short on drink bottles. So if anyone has it, there'll be a prize 10 times the value of that drink bottle if it comes back to me in the next 10 minutes.
Christchurch will again play host to another cycling championship series next month, when the Mountain Bike National Championships are held. In Christchurch, the South Today.
Defending champion of the Kepler Challenge, Daniel Jones, had the pace to win his 4th consecutive title over the weekend. The gruelling mountain run event was delayed from last December, with summer conditions producing a stunning race day in Te Anau.
Usually held in early December, the 2021 Kepler Challenge finally hit the trails over the weekend. Hot summer conditions in Te Anau ramped up the pressure for the field of runners after a couple of years of cold and wet race conditions. The course suiting the racing style of trail running star Ruth Croft, who overcame the heat to win the women's title.
I definitely prefer the undulating and runnable parts, so that's pretty much the whole course. It's not technical or anything. I just didn't really have the legs in the last 15k.
The full 60-kilometre Kepler track loop challenged defending men's champion Daniel Jones. He says he loves running in the heat and was just pleased to be back out competing, eventually winning the event 19 minutes ahead of his nearest rival.
Yeah, unbelievably stoked. That it feels like a long time coming with all the postponements and yeah, for all the races, so it's just great to be able to come here to Te Anau and race hard.
The win was Jones's 4th title in a row, and although he had his eye initially on the race record, he knew he was 5 to 6 minutes off that target at each checkpoint.
I was gunning it, but in the end I was just making sure no one was breathing down my neck basically, and having a bit of a turnaround at some of the longer straights that you see in the bush and making sure no one was sneaking up on me because you just had no idea up there.
But he's definitely got a 5th title in his sights now, and possibly a closer focus on that race record. In Te Anau, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The turnout has been strong for children aged between 5 and 11 receiving their first COVID-19 jabs. Dunedin's Coast Guard has a new upgraded rescue vessel thanks to some major backers and the America's Cup yacht racing event. And families have been desperately trying to contact their loved ones in Tonga after the weekend's massive volcanic eruption. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with today's southern view, Peter Nichols' sculpture Toroa looks out Dunedin's harbour. Looking at the situation, a weak front approaches the south tomorrow with increasing northwesterly airflow, but a change to colder southwesterlies and rain will follow on Wednesday. Looking at the centres now, in the northwest, Greymouth reaches 22 degrees despite showers, partial sun in Westport on 23. 22 and 23 degrees in Nelson and Blenheim as well, but sunny in both centres here, just a bit of cloud for Nelson too. Down the Canterbury coast, Kaikoura sees a sunny 19 degrees, while Christchurch and Ashburton both 1 degree warmer welcome spots of cloud as well. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, Catlins and Balclutha can expect freshening northwesterlies tomorrow, with cloud increasing and highs of 22 and 23 degrees. Inland, freshening northwesterlies too for Gore and Lumsden bring late rain on 21. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes, Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra can all expect moderate northwesterlies, with high cloud increasing and highs between 26 and 28 degrees. Cooler in Te Anau as freshening northwesterlies bring rain and a high of 19. Looking to the northern towns now, along the coast, Timaru welcomes light easterlies with clear skies and a high of 27. Oamaru should expect moderate northeasterlies with some cloud and a high of 25, while inland Twizel and Omarama can expect moderate northwesterlies, high cloud and a high of 28 degrees. In Dunedin, mist or low cloud tonight with an overnight low of 10. It'll be mostly fine tomorrow with sunny periods at first, but high cloud increasing and thickening later in the day. Expect fresh breezy northeast winds during the afternoon with some rain developing tomorrow night. A high of 24 and a low of 14. And it's periods of rain on Wednesday, easing to showers during the afternoon. There'll be light winds at first, but fresh, gusty, cold southwesterlies develop later on. A high of 20 and a low of 10 degrees. And in Invercargill, it'll be mostly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 14 degrees. Cloud increases and lowers across the day tomorrow with freshening northwesterly winds, some rain developing from the evening, a high of 21 and a low of 15. And the rain eases to showers on Wednesday but still lingers with fresh, cool southwesterlies developing, a high of 16 and a low of 10 degrees. And that's the news this Monday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Nō reira kia pai te pō, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.